If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener.
All right, you guys, Motionless in White is next on our DJ Nick stream. Actually, I'm just going to do it from here. It's called Masterpiece. Is the name of the song. All right, you guys, you ready to check it out?
All right, Chris Motionless is one of Nick's favorite lyricists.
Okay.
He conveys emotion so well. So, guys,
okay.
Watch these lyrics. We're a lyric-based channel, okay? Watch these lyrics because the DJ already gave you a hint as to what's about to befall you. Here we go. Motionless in White. Masterpiece. We have the lyrics, so you don't even need to go anywhere. Check it out, guys. DJ Nick in this bitch. Let's go.
All the stupid lies and the stupid games left a vacancy in this picture frame. A prisoner by my own hands. 'Cause if I can't have me, then no one can. I need to heal what I inflict, but I'll burn that bridge when I get to. As I play roulette with a broken gun, I confess these sins with a sharp and spiteful tongue. So how do I apologize and put the tears back in
Oh, damn, that's the end? Shit.
Kendrick goes, that's my
there's no-
boys, motionless
Oh,
and
no.
white for life.
So there was no solution.
I mean, there's some relationships that are not gonna make it, man, and that's just the long and the short of it. I mean, it's.
Can you put the lyrics on?
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. You know, I mean, it looks like. You know, he's talking about like apologizing to Shorty, but you know, he's right. What are you gonna do? You put the tears back in their eyes? I mean. You know, sometimes, like, it's like, you know, there's, like, redemption and stuff, but, you know, like, with God, you know what I'm saying? With God, but that doesn't mean that people are gonna... And I don't even think, like... I don't think it's healthy for to have this, like, you have to save the relationship at all costs, where, like, the relationship itself becomes... like this concept that's more important than the people itself, you know. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
So for me, it's not as really as dramatic. It's just like, okay, like it's over with. Whatever that relationship was, like I would tell Shorty, get the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I wasn't necessarily. I guess I necessarily didn't like think of it as a relationship song. Surprise! I just thought of it as like this is. This person, like the singer, this is how it is with everything that he's doing. Like he's just fucking it up everywhere. Like I didn't look at it as just his relationship.
Well, he said the tears back in your eyes, so it looked like he was talking to somebody specifically.
Yeah, I just
You
took
know.
that as everybody that
All
was
the
around him.
stupid
But yeah,
lies and the stupid games and vacancy in a picture frame.
yeah, no, you're right. At the beginning, I did think it was
Sounded
that
like a lot of relationship songs to me.
prisoner by my own hands. Because if I can't have me, then no one can. What did he mean by that line, though?
That's a brilliant line.
Yeah, I
because
saw you be like, wait,
that's
what?
that's another
After that
thing
one
where I was
happened.
like, oh, this is a relationship song because that's one of those things that the stalker says to the girl, right? Like, if I can't have you, nobody's gonna have you.
But he said,
right?
I can't have me.
But he said that about himself, and I think he was talking about like in the best case scenario, in a because you know we've talked about this where it's like you know, principially it's bad because it's possessive, but on a practical level, girls kind of like a dude who's a little bit obsessive. You know, so like, if I can't have you, nobody else. Like you know, we talk about this. Like, if the girl likes a dude, if she's feeling the dude, and he says that, then it's like, ooh, he's kind of, you know. But if it's a fact, you know, if you're not attracted to him, whatever, it's like, psh, pig. He's reversing that. He's saying that about himself because he's confessing that he's ultimately really selfish, and the only person he's really obsessed with is himself.
Oh shit.
Which is a very self-aware thing to do.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, he's a rock star, and he's young, and he's right. Like, I don't think he should be having any serious relationships right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, can we be practical? Get all that shit out of your system, bro. Because why is he lying to her and playing games with her? Because he's on the road. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they should not be together.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, you look like shocked or something.
Well, I just don't think that that's very biblical advice. Like, you're basically saying, go fuck the world, you know what I mean? Like, literally, and then come back and start a relationship when you're ready to calm down. That's not biblical.
Well, not everybody's a Christian, sweet, so...
Yeah, but why would you advise somebody outside of that?
Because I want to reduce harm.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right? So, like, what the scripture says is a person who commits sexual immorality is sinning against his own body.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather that this dude sin against his own body than include the emotional and psychological destruction of a young lady who could otherwise be doing something great with her life.
Right.
So, to me,
Okay.
I'm like, man, just do your thing and
Yeah.
don't get into why get into relationships? Like, you have the ideal of a relationship, but you don't have the practical ability to maintain
Sustain
it in
that,
any
yeah.
serious way at this point.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, Look, if I had a son, I would give him the same advice. I'd say, listen, you're probably an apostate. You're probably not really a Christian. And if you died untoward, I would not be confident about the state of your soul. But at minimum, you should not be around any girls, like in any sort of like pretense that you guys are going to be in any sort of committed relationship, because now you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're constantly lying to shorty.
Yeah.
And when I tell the boys all the time,
you're
when I
hardening
tell
yourself.
the boys all the time, is I say, you never lie. Just tell them you don't want to talk about it, or you're not going to talk about it. Just don't lie about it. But if you're in a situation like this, and you know what I'm talking about, he's going to lie.
Right.
So why put yourself in a situation where you're just going to sin and hurt another person when you could just be sinning and hurting yourself? That's how I look at it. I don't feel a lot of pity for this dude. And I don't think he's asking for pity. But I don't think he knows how to get out of... See, this is one of the major problems that I've seen with people, especially like being able to see new Christians, is people have an idealized version of themselves, and then there's the real version of themselves, and people cannot deal with that gap. They can't deal with it. They want to believe that they're this kind of person, but then the mirror keeps showing them, no, you're this kind of person, and they can't deal with that gap. And so he's stuck in this loop. Now he's condemning himself all the time. And he's guilty all the time, but I don't think he's as bad as he thinks he is. I don't think he's as bad as he thinks he is.
Well, I think you're right, human. Because he's in that relationship. It's going to make it worse because you're going to, the fallout that you're going to see for the other person.
Say that again.
Well, you were saying it would be better if he wasn't in that relationship, then he was just kind of doing his thing. You're like, I don't think he's as bad as he thinks he is, but I'm saying, yeah, it's probably compounded, and he's like, this is really bad because he's seeing it in the face of somebody that he's hurting.
I don't know who this Donovan Parchment person is, but Ben has been dissing on this band who is like incredibly successful. And this dude, I've never seen this Donovan Parchment person in my life.
Yeah.
Thank you for your constructive criticism. We will definitely change the sound going forward and disappoint the 100,000 monthly listeners for your opinion.
There's Ben.
Ben, the Lord knows that I love you deeply. And you just got roasted. We're having roast koala for dinner today, bro. Oh, Ben, finally someone to time out and make my day. Look, Ben, I don't control nothing that hell does. She's got one of the wrenches, bro. If she,
your life is in her hands.
It's in your hands, bro. That's mine. I'm not touching it. I'm not having no beef for her, for you. So, you better be on your best behavior. Look at Ben. What a weak comeback, Ben. 100,000 screaming morons can be wrong. They could be, but not in this situation. This is a legitimately good band. Shout out to Ben Webb. Shout out to that Parchment guy, whoever he is. Oh, look, ex-vocalist of Disembodied Tyrant here. I'm a big fan of you guys since you reacted to the Holy War and Behemoth. Thank you so much for checking out the band.
Oh, cool.
Dude.
You never know. We've got Joe Biden here, so... No,
I really believe him. We listened to that song like 2 songs over. Remember? You were in that band with the you both did a song together, right? We just reviewed that song. That guitar, remember I said that guitar solo part? And I was like, yo, I gotta go play my guitar.
Yeah.
It was that song.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you were there for the review. Also, Donovan, thank you for coming through.
Yeah.
All right. All the stupid lies, all the stupid games is the vacancy in this picture frame.
That part was like... Because he's feeling it. It sounds like the relationship is done, but it's left a vacancy
Where
now.
are you seeing that he's healing?
Who said he was healing?
I thought you said he was healing.
No, it's done. Like, well, if I said healing, I didn't mean that. It's like the relationship is done, and now he's looking back at it, and he's like, feeling. I probably said feeling. Well, feeling is what I meant. Like, he's feeling it. The relationship is over because of the games.
Well, I don't
and
know if
stuff.
the relationship is over.
Well, why is it leaving a vacancy?
What do you
Why
mean?
would there be a vacancy in the picture frame? I
Because
thought the person was no longer there.
yeah, but look, it says, I need to heal what I inflict, but I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. So the bridge isn't completely burned with this person. He says, I will burn it in the future. He's saying, I know this is going to, like, I've been in relationships like this where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and this, and that's going to be the complete end of this. And I was okay. Because that's when I was crazy back in the day. And I wasn't really with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't really with them like they thought I was with them, if that makes any sense. But I don't think they're totally gone. I think that he's doing the yo-yo thing with her. And what looks to me like she is not going to make the decision that needs to get made. There are, like, I've seen that a bunch of times in a relationship with the girl, and it's clear, like, shorty, like, yo, it's truly over with, but they just can't deal with it's like, you know, I lost my mother-in-law, and I noticed about myself, I could not say that she was dead out loud for like a year. I just couldn't say it. And I thought, this is interesting, because I found myself avoiding saying it, and I'm like, I think I'm afraid to say that, or it wasn't fair, but I was too sad to say it, or something like that. I was gonna lose something if I said it or something. I don't know what it is, but a lot of times, like in relationships, like the shit it'll be dead, but people won't say it because, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what he says. Like, as I play roulette with a broken glut, I confess these things with a sharp and spiteful tongue. And see, that's what I mean. Because he's confessing it, but there's some spite underneath that. Because even though this is irrational, you keep making me feel guilty because we're in this relationship together. Completely irrational. But this is the mindset of a lot of dudes, man. It's like they're angry at the girl because the girl knows that he's been cheating, but it's like, I'll give you another chance. And so he doesn't get that clean break. He's in some sort of purgatorial situation because, again, he's also fighting with the ideal of who he wants to be. Because he kind of does want to be the type of guy that could stay faithful to that girl and all that because he genuinely likes that girl. But sometimes people catch each other at the wrong time, man. Like, that's why a lot of times people are like, oh, like, are we personally compatible? It's like, yeah, but are you temporally compatible? Right? Like, being able to be compatible temporally, meaning where I am in my life and where you are in your life is a sweet spot for a relationship. So, like, for example, you got these young guys in grind culture, you know, 23, 24, and they're working for 16, 18 hours a day because they know that if they do that, they're going to cruise in their 30s. Okay. If you run into that dude at 23, 24, you two might be completely compatible, but you got dude at the wrong time.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because he's grinding. If you catch him at his 30th birthday party, you guys will probably have the happiest thing in the world. But if you catch him for that little 7-year window when it's over with. So, like, but you only understand that later on. So now he's like beating himself up, you know, over this. And now he's resenting her because now she's trapped him. He feels trapped in this type of thing because now he's, I'm not that guy. And you keep giving me chances. Same thing happened with Trash. It's a Korn song. And it's Jonathan talking about all these girls that he's, and it literally, I tell my lies and I despise every second I'm with you. So I run away, but you still stay. What the fuck is with you? And that's the whole song. And that's when he's the angriest. That part right there, that's when he's the angriest in the song. So
wow.
It's a dynamic that a lot of girls don't understand. It's a dynamic that female that get really lost in translation between men and women.
Yeah, I bet.
But that is a major dynamic where the guy is just cheating all over the place. The girl stays with him. She keeps giving him one more chance. There's a difference between like accepting it. Like there are a lot of relationships where it's just I'll accept it. You're going to cheat on me, it's fine, it's just sex, who cares? I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is a girl who won't accept it. She's psychologically destroyed every time it happens, and then she keeps giving him a chance. That's when the guy begins to hate the girl. because now he begins to blame her for the guilt that he feels. When the best thing to do is cut that relationship off. That's why I said, like, if I ever did something like that, it'd be over with. Because I would never, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have a relationship with somebody when there's no trust. Mm-hmm. So I don't care who's the one, like, especially, like, if I'm the one that did it, like, I wouldn't be able to recover from that. So this song right here is crazy. Outlined in guilt, my portrait stares in a gallery where the walls lie bare. Again, that's what I said. Like, guilt as a fuel to change your behavior is never going to do it. And that's what he's been running on. That's what he's been running on. Outlined in my guilt, my portrait stares as I modernize my antique ways. This guy's a brilliant lyricist.
Wow.
Modernize my antique ways.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'm doing the same shit over and over again. I'm just like repackaging it.
Yeah, that's crazy. In a gallery where the walls lie bare, so there is no gallery, and the pictures are vacant. So there's vacant. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's emptiness with the facade of fullness, and that's the problem.
Damn.
Right, and the thing is, he just caught her, but he's still in his 20s. I'm assuming, like, when you're in your 20s, you don't realize, like, they just caught you at the wrong time, but you don't know that. You know, now I look back and I'm like, oh, Shorty caught me at the wrong time. Oh, I caught Shorty at the wrong time. Oh, I had to be the sacrificial lamb for this person. And you just understand that those roles, you see those roles replicated all through once you see people's relationships, and then you start to realize stuff. And yeah, timing is a really big thing, man. Right now, he's a very driven rock star. He's working his ass off, and he's feeling the success of what he's doing. You know, that's why I was looking at Tom Brady, and I'm like, dude, you had it. You had a perfect situation. You had it. You met a girl that was willing to sacrifice all that shit for you. Shorty was...
She did.
She was a monster in her own right.
Right.
And for a decade almost,
right,
she put herself to the side,
yep,
raised your kids.
Yep.
This woman was the most powerful, one of the most powerful women literally on the planet. Like, literally, she was in like her 40s still being a supermodel. Do you know how that industry is?
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 of them still
Ruthless
around. And like, for her to sit out, being who she was, for her to sit out so that, you know, he could live his little dream or whatever. Like, you got to give her that year, man. Like, I love... And it's so crazy to me that, like, it really affected my... Like, you don't see me talking about Brady the way I used to talk about him.
No, I know. It completely changed.
And it really affected me, man, because I'm like... All this manosphere bullshit and all the men versus women bullshit and all this, and I'm like, here's a woman who, like... In spite of all that, on the stage of the world, you know how many people were saying, oh my God, she's putting back feminism, blah, 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 blah. And she did that out of love, bro, and you were so selfish that you went off and did that shit, man. I was like, yo, bro. It was a real object lesson for me, man. It really, really was. But it also, like, again, like, that's the other side with men, man. Like, we got to understand, so like sometimes women catch us at a bad time. But sometimes we don't understand when certain things have run out. Like, that's one thing I'll say about myself. Like, I knew, like, I'm not going to be able to do this job and be married to you. I knew it. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no way me and you are going to be, you know, planning a vacation in a pool somewhere. I get a phone call and I'm on a plane and you don't know where I'm going. Or if I tell you where I'm going, you don't really believe that I'm going where I'm going. You'd probably be right. Like, there was no way that there was no way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's a situation with guys, you know. Yeah, kind of like Hillary sticking by her man Bill. Correct. I'm not a fan at all of Hillary Clinton. But, like, she went to war for her husband, bro.
Yeah, she did. She
did. And for him to play, that was another thing, too. Like, I used to be a fan of Bill Clinton. I used to really like Bill Clinton.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
We loved him. Because he smoked weed. Bill Clinton, he smoked weed.
What do you mean? He didn't breathe in, right?
Yeah, he didn't inhale, whatever. But we were all like, yeah, he's one of us. But yeah, man, because I used to, you know, my mom, I remember when Hillary got on Good Morning America and said all that shit, my mom said, just looked. And I believed her. I believed Hillary. Because I'm like, there's no way he would do that to her. Like, there's no way. And I remember I'm like, these white folks crazy, like saying this about the president, blah, blah, blah. And I remember my mom being real quiet.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, Ma, you don't believe this, do you? And she was like, men gonna be men. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh, shit.
A couple days later, I did in fact have sexual. That really that changed me, man. I was like, okay, man, fuck this guy, bro.
What made him decide to admit it?
DNA.
Oh.
He was there.
Oh.
It was pretty
He was
disgusting. I mean, she knew what she was doing.
To keep that, yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna get into details. She knew what she was doing, but yeah, like those were some really formative moments for me. Is Bill Clinton and Tom Brady, man. That really impacted me a lot, because you know how hard it is for me to look up to people, you know? So when that happened, man, I'm not against him. I'm just like, I just know like how rare it is. It's very rare to have a good woman who's going to support you and be behind you. And especially in this day and age, somebody who will be literally willing to sacrifice everything for you for your agenda. And like to see how rare that is, and then to see that abused like that, like, you know, it's like they always say, a wise man learns, you know, a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of his brothers, you know? And so I'm like, yo.
Wow.
And I'm also very happy. Yup, Todd, Jordan with his gambling. I'm also very happy that my sons got to see me, that whole progression. Because I would use Tom Brady as an object lesson for my kids all the time.
Dude.
And I still do, just for different reasons. You know?
Agree.
Hillary saved Bill to save himself to a degree. Although she didn't really save him. No. Although her staying with him was better for him as president than... But, you know, I mean, I agree. Hillary was the one that was threatening other women when, you know, that happened. So, at the time, I didn't know all that. All I knew was this dude has this woman trotting out there, making a fool of herself, and the entire time, like, you knew what you did. My whole thing was like, yo, why let her get up there in front of the camera and do that? That was my problem.
Yeah.
Like, what, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't understand, like, I didn't understand how he could do that, but, you know, I was still in a childish mindset, obviously. I actually make it a thing to not look up to people, and best look at you in the eye, at the eye level. Yeah, I look up to people who are like, who do things that I could never do consistently. There was one guy the guy that I've most admired in my life, I've never talked about ever on camera. But, like, he just I would not believe what I would say if I didn't see it myself. And like, there's a lot of times when I sit back and go, this is so like, you have no choice but to admire that guy. But yeah, I see what you're saying though, man. I really like the song. If Brady had won another Super Bowl, would you have felt the same way? I would have probably felt more what I feel now. Mm-hmm. I'd have felt more what I feel now.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
in my view, that woman gave up a Super Bowl every year for him. That was real love, man. And so it would be a gift, because Tom's whole thing is, I want to squeeze all the orange out of the juice. And it would have been such a stand-up thing to say, I actually think there's some juice left in this orange.
Yep.
I'm going to leave it unsqueezed for you.
Yeah.
Because of what you did for the last 8-9 years.
I think people would have loved that story too.
I don't think people would have loved it.
Oh,
people
really?
were happy that Tom came back. And they didn't really care about the divorce. But for me, I'm like, I'm trying to make men here. I'm trying to raise men here. Mm-hmm. You know? So I wasn't like disappointed, like, oh, now I can't teach my sons. I was just disappointed, like, fuck, man, now I gotta use you as an object lesson when I loved you, dude.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah, if he would have been able to give that up for her, like, that would have just been the ultimate example to me of marriage, because that's what it's about, man. It's sacrifice. And it can't be one person sacrificing all the time.
Right,
And
right.
if it is going to be one person sacrificing, it should be the man. We should be the sacrificers, not them, because we're Christ in the relationship. Now, you got this girl out here sacrificing for you. This woman had no business doing anything but ruling the fucking planet, bro. And she did that for you. It would have been beautiful, man, for him to say, I have a Super Bowl. And you know what? All of us would have believed that he had another one in him.
We would have all thought he was going to get another win.
It was clearly demonstrated that he didn't. He got booted in the first round at home by Dak Prescott. Okay? I'm like, you betrayed that woman for that? Come on, bro. Come on. Come on. So, no. I don't care in the sense that, like, it's going to ruin my life, but I do care in the sense that where our society is right now, it would have been great to have that as an example, man. It would have been great to be able to look at that and say, that's how men and women are supposed to interact.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need any of this Andrew Tate, none of this bullshit. Just look at what we just saw. But nope. It's because, you know, and they were bringing it up. They were like, look at Giselle, you know, she submitted to Tom, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay. Now they're divorced and she's out there with the BJJ instructor. You know what I'm saying? Like, CISO, you're from Tampa. CISO, I'm going to give you my phone number, bro. Send me an email. I'm going to give you a phone number. Give you my phone number.
Oh, you're from Tampa?
He's from Tampa. Are you in Tampa right now? Anyway, Motionless in White, we've done like 2 or 3 more songs from them. This was my favorite one by far. This guy, whoever this dude is West Palm. That's still in Florida. That's okay. Send me an email. I'm going to text you my number. Okay, that's fair. Good. Yeah, that review went a little bit long, but
important topics.
It's very, very important.
Yeah, I love the song too. It was obviously it's sad, you know, but at the same time, I see what you're saying. If it was,
he's in his 20s.
He'd be better off just to let it.
He's in his 20s.
Let it be. Why? Yeah, why?
Yeah.
You're not ready for the relationship. Why be in it?
Yeah, it's just like I look at these football teams. Like, are you going to win the Super Bowl this year? Okay. If you're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, then you can make certain decisions. So it's the same thing. Are you going to marry this girl? Are you going to completely devote your life to her?
Yeah.
Like forever. Like when you're 65, is she going to wake up next to her? No? Okay, then get rid of it. Just get rid of her and don't drag her through all that.
Yeah.
Use her and then present her broken psyche to the next dude or the next girl that's going to have to go and pick up the pieces of your fuck up.
Yeah. Plus, if you ever hope to get well and not be that type of person, you still have to deal with the fact that you did that to somebody.
Shit, the kid he's 37 years old. I don't know when he wrote this song though. Right. That's a little old to still be figuring this shit out. I'm not gonna lie to you. No. It's not about the money that she sacrificed. It's not about the money she sacrificed. What I'm talking about her sacrificing is her status, what she could do in the world. There's certain things that she could not do in the world because she's a full-time mom now.
Right.
Right? So it wasn't about money. I don't think she lost any money being with Tom. She probably exponentialized her money. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is her putting herself second forever.
And I mean, it's the same.
His inability to do it one time for her. Yeah. That's my problem.
And it's the same thing, like what he was doing. He was like capitalizing off of his career in the time that he was going to be at his strongest to do it. And her career she's a supermodel. So that means those were her best years. And she didn't go out and do the most that she could with that based off the fact that she was home with her kids or taking care of her kids so he could do his thing, which is beautiful. But at the same time, it's like you said, if he would have year.
Of course it's a personal choice. And the song is a personal song. What I'm saying is, when I teach my sons is, obviously God's design for marriage is that you commit to one woman for a lifetime and you protect and you provide for her. Her role, you bring home the bacon, she cooks the bacon, you are the leader of the family, and she submits to your authority, blah, 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 blah. That's what I teach my sons. What's nice, though, is to be able to point outside and say, okay, here's the principles Dad's been teaching you all your life. Look at that. That's what we're talking about, right? It's good to have people who embody or manifest in the physical world the principles that you teach your kids. So my problem with what Tom did was that it was immensely selfish, and that looking at the moment that we're in culturally speaking, because as a Christian, I don't believe in individualism. I don't believe that my life only belongs to me. I believe that my life also belongs to the people in the community, because other people are going to be influenced by what I say and do and what I don't say and what I don't do. So as a Christian, I understand it's a personal choice, but we're all connected to each other. And in that sense, it would have been a better choice if he would have been able to sacrifice that last year for her. It would have spoke volumes as to how men and women should interact. And it's something that we desperately need in the culture.
And I'm sure his kids needed to see it too. I'm sure his kids needed to see it too, because I'm sure there was a lot of time that they didn't. I mean, there's a lot of time he probably didn't get to spend with them in their growing up years, but he could have put that example for them to help them in their futures. Because if you live that way selfishly, like, it's inevitably the relationships cannot survive one-way selfishness all the time. They can't. So, it wasn't a great message.
In this culture, for a
now
woman,
he's a precautionary tale.
For a woman to do what she did was incredible in this culture. And to me, as an outsider, that looked completely one-sided. And the one-sided nature of that relationship, like, that's the thing about asymmetrical relationships. Like, I believe, like your children, right? Like, those relationships are always going to be in one direction. You're all, as a parent, you're always going to love your kid more, and your kid is always going to be taking more than what they give to you. And that's the way it should be. They didn't ask to be put here. You put them here. But relationships at this level between men and women should be mutual. It shouldn't be completely one-sided. It should not be the woman is carrying the practicals of the relationship the whole time while I go off and whatever. It shouldn't be that, at least from a biblical worldview. So there you go. So Todd, I think you're missing the point.
And you're not just saying it like as a theory. Like, you live that shit out. Like, I do not carry the majority of this relationship. That's, you do that. So I mean, like, you live it out. You live it out.
Yeah, he always said his dad was there for him, so that is ironic. I mean, Tom's whole family, it's always been about him. That's the problem. You see that documentary? His sisters were there. Everything was about Tom. Then he gets married, and Giselle, Tom. He's a great guy, humble dude, but I think that's a major blind spot for him. And I think this guy right here, although I gotta kind of agree with Ben, like, you wrote that song in 2022 and you're 37 years old, like, you should have some of this shit figured out. I'm not gonna say that, like, Ben, he was like 35 to 36 depending on his birthday. This shit is embarrassing. Chris is an emotionally stunted child, which explains why the music sounds like garbage for a hot topic.
For a hot topic. Oh, God.
I mean, shout out to Ben Webb. All right, this song,
I like the song. 9.6
for me. 9.8 for me. Nick with the freaking business. These are all like thought-provoking songs, man. They were all like, we went a little bit long, but I thought it was important. These are,
I don't know how he had time to put this stream together. He worked like friggin' 13 or 18 hours today or something.
Yeah, Todd, I'm absolutely going to judge their relationship, just like I would judge Trump and his 3 wives. They don't have a relationship that I would want my sons or my daughters to replicate. I'm not saying they're bad people, and I'm not saying that anybody's better than anybody. What I'm saying is that I don't want my boys to be that selfish, and I don't want my girls to get taken advantage of to that degree.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. All right. It was a 10 for Nick, 9.8 for me. This guy can really, really write, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really. I got a minus 51 from
Oh
Will.
no!
If I,
That's worse than the box score, right?
yeah.
By 1.
Yeah. Shout out to the big homie Todd, though. Shout out to Hunter. Shout out to all you beautiful people. We out of here.
Yep.
Big shout out to the big homie Nick, man. These were real thought provoking songs,
for
bro.
sure.
Thank you guys. 50 likes. Good job. We're gonna see you guys again real soon. Revo, you guys know Revo's got some shit cooking. You guys know that.
1974 is on its way.
Uh-oh. I'm going to leave you guys with our current president. Good
There we
night,
go.
folks. Black Lives Matter. Who else will you have to fight your fires in California? Black Lives Matter. If you know, you know.
Oh my gosh.
JB has also announced that he's not a Christian and he's going to hell. Good night. And ate mayo on my sandwich today, too. Yeah, you're going to hell. Okay. When is Ben going to have his stream? Ben will probably have... If you see the Ben stream...
You'll know the rapture is in fact happening. No.
That will literally be the last Vin and Sori episode.
Oh.
So... Bring your tissue boxes,
Look at
people.
Ben. Sorry, won't let it happen.
Don't worry, though. Don't worry. We got season 3 coming up before the final show.
Yep.
So don't worry. I mean,
Have no doubt.
obviously, there's got to be a final show at some point, but not for season 3.
Shit can't go on forever.
I don't think it'll be in season 3. I have so many things lined up for season 3 that by the time we get to the end of that shit, people are going to be tired of us anyway. All right, guys. Shout out to JB.
Bye, guys.
Shout out to JB and his mayonnaise. Good Lord. Repent.